Back of the book segment tonight, a Harvard University group is rescinding an invitation to an anti-illegal immigration activist after booking him to appear at a forum this weekend. It turns out that some student protesters raised a stink when they heard that Jim Gilchrist was coming to speak. He's the founder of the Minutemen Project. Joining us now from Boston, Kyle Beausset, a Harvard junior who was instrumental in getting Gilchrist's invitation pulled. Now, what's the basis for denying the man the opportunity to speak, Kyle?
Well, good evening, Mr. Williams. I appreciate the ability to speak here. Go easy on me. It's my first time on TV. Well, let's get something straight here. I mean, you're basically talking about denying free speech to Mr. Gilchrist. That's not what's happening here. Look, I admire the ideals that this country aspires to just as much as everyone else, free speech being among them. And, free speech, the First Amendment protects us from the government infringing upon our right to free speech. It doesn't obligate private institutions to give a platform to extremists like Jim Gilchrist.
Well, hang on.
Just like it doesn't...
Hang on, but he was invited. He had an invitation. The invitation was then taken away. So explain to me why.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, let's get that straight. So the Harvard Undergraduate Legal Committee, the bottom line is that they messed up. The panel that they had Jim Gilchrist speaking on included him and two members from the Center for Immigration Studies, all of which are nativist organizations. There was no pro-migrant perspectives represented there. They messed up, and thankfully they realized their mistake and rescinded the invitation.
Wait,
that's important
Kyle,
to get straight.
Kyle, it's not the case that the panel was so tilted and so unbalanced. There were other people available to offer other points of view, but once you issue the invitation, I don't see what the basis is for then saying, no, you can't come, don't show up. In fact, what I've seen written is that they were concerned, apparently, that leftist groups on campus were going to attack him.
And that's the most ridiculous thing, Juan, and now you've gotten into it because, so, first of all, Jim Gilchrist has shown just his ability to distort the truth completely. He alleged that there was going to be violence. That has nothing to do with it. All that happened was I sent an email out to a bunch of email lists, and people realized the mistake. And so, I mean, that's the first thing. So once we've established that a private institution doesn't have the obligation to give Jim Gilchrist the right to speak, then we have to think about whether it's responsible to let him to speak. Someone that distorts the truth, is that someone we should give a platform to speak with?
Kyle, you go to Harvard. People must have done research. They knew who they were inviting. They invited him. I don't see it, Kyle. All right.
Well, and the other thing,
Kyle,
Mr.
Kyle,
Williams,
I'm sorry, we're going to have to go now, but thanks again. I appreciate it. Directly ahead, the truth about sharks.